my Hey friends, Amy Astrab, creativity coach and independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here at Ad Astra Stamping Studio. I'm going to have some fun today playing around with a Halloween version of my card. It is a slimline card, so I am going to go ahead and turn this camera down. We'll get started. Today I am going to be using some fresh inks by Stampin' Up! We're going to be using some blending brushes, and we're just going to have a little bit of fun. The card that I am mimicking today is a slimline card I created for a class. I am going to show you a version that I made in class. It was this one. It is the Friendship Refreshes the Soul. It's the stamp from the Beauty of Friendship Beauty of Friendship stamp set. The tree is from the die that coordinates with that set, the Beauty of Trees die set. You can buy those as a bundle right now and save 10%. So you can shop at astrastamping.stampinup.net for those. And then we're going to make a Halloween version. I have not made one yet, so you're going to be experimenting along with me. So I have got my panel ready here that I am going to be doing the blending on. I have taken some sticky note. It is one that's sticky all over. And I am just going to lay that down here. I have die cut the smallest circle from the Layering Circles die set and just cut out that. So I'm going to lay those to the side. I want to keep this because I'm going to use it as well in a few moments. Yellow. So I am using the crushed curry, and I'm going to create a little moon up here in the top corner of my card. So after I've loaded it with ink, I'm just going to get a little of the excess ink out, and I am just going to lightly blend in my moon. I'm going to kind of just tap it and model it a little bit because the moon kind of looks like it's not flat on the surface. So we want to give it some of that moon-like texture. And I'm going to just achieve that by tapping it a little and then just kind of going back over and blending lightly. So we're going to pull that away and reveal our full moon. And now I'm going to use the little circle that I cut out of it. Now remember, this sticky note is adhesive all over. So this part is sticky. That ink is just a tad bit wet. I'm going to let it dry for a second. Now I'm going to cover that over. Now I'm going to go over that area with some pumpkin pie. And again, I'm just going to start off and kind of gently rub some of this pumpkin pie around where that moon is, just to kind of make a nice orange glow from the moon. And we'll start out light and we'll build up the color gently. You just want that soft glow around the moon. And I'm going to darken it up a little as I get further away because the night sky is going to get darker in this. Now I am using Halloween colors on this one. My original one, I did use a different set of colors, and I will include those in my instructions. So if you would like to know more about my original card that I did in my live class, you can certainly email me, and I would be happy to send those directions to you. It will have all of the colors, the sizes, everything you would need to make this card. I'm going to call that good on my orange for now, and I am going to switch over to Highland Heather for this next part of the card. And again, I'm just going to kind of start off the paper and start blending this in. And I don't want to overlap that too much because I don't like the brown that's going to be created with the orange and the purple blending. So I'm going to try to avoid going too much into the orange area. I'm going to gently, lightly start building up the color here. This bottom section now will go a little heavier. We'll be using the gorgeous grape color, which is going to be a little darker purple. Again, we'll be going in and darkening layer by layer till we get the colors that we want. Now the purples I don't mind overlapping because they are both purple and I want that gradual darkening of color. So just kind of fade that into the Highland Heather a little bit. Add a little more through here. Now I am going to be covering this up with that tree die cut, so it does not have to be perfect. I'm going to peel my mask off of our moon. We'll reveal our nice yellow moon there. Let's get rid of our scrap paper as well. All right, now we're going to go ahead and play around with this a little bit. So I've got my tree die cut out of black cardstock. I am going to be stamping the word boo up here at the top. And that is from a paper pumpkin kit. I have not purchased any stamps. Halloween's not really my favorite holiday. So I don't do a lot for it other than get the paper pumpkin kit, which comes out every year and is fabulous to make the little treat things for the grandkids and the neighbor kids. So I am going to use the word boo out of one of those older sets and stamp that up there at the top. So let's go ahead and do that first. Now this is one that's supposed to look not perfect. As you can see from this, it's supposed to look kind of scratchy and distressed. So we'll see. I'm going to stamp that up here in the orange section, kind of right underneath our moon. And give that a firm press and let that ink just soak into that cardstock for a moment. And with any luck, we've got a good clear impression. Yes, I am happy with that. Beautiful. So there's our sentiment. We'll get our tree glued down here in a moment. But I think I want to add a few other little fun things before I adhere that down. So this is a different set. And it's got some little skeleton figures in it. They look like they're dancing, and I just want to see if I can add those to the background. with some white pigment ink. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop those onto some of my paper pumpkin blocks, and I'm going to get my white craft ink out. Now this is a pigment ink, and it will work as a heat embossing ink. So I am just going to tap this with my embossing buddy. Get it good and tapped down. And I'm going to go ahead and get some up here as well, just so any fingerprints I might have on there are not going to pick up any powders, because we're going to heat emboss these little guys, I think. So I've got him fairly well inked up. I'm going to stamp him over here on this side. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. He is not going to show up very good if I don't heat emboss. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this guy over here. And I'm going to get my white. I'm just going to go ahead and coat those two guys with some white embossing powder. Hopefully that ink stayed wet long enough to get some on there. The one guy came out pretty good. The other guy did not do so well. So you know what I'm going to do here. All is not lost. So before I heat emboss, I am going to try to fix this. I'm going to take my embossing buddy, and I am simply going to take that off. Tap that back down. And I'm going to try stamping that one again. So that was this guy here. And because these are photopolymer, I can see through them fairly well. I'm going to try to line him back up and restamp him without messing my other guy up, hopefully. It'll be a ghosted image. Powder's definitely sticking to it better this time, though. You can always use your Stamparatus in situations where you're not sure. Versamark does a much better job, but since I am just experimenting today, I thought, well, perhaps it will work with white pigment ink and I wouldn't have to heat emboss. So let's just see how it turns out. There, we're going that to heat. We're going to call that good. He'll kind of be partially hidden behind the tree anyway, so that's going to be fine. Now there's some other little stamps that I might add. So there is some bats. Let's add some bats to this. Get rid of our skeleton. And I'm going to get my Memento ink back out. We can ink him up good. We'll add a bat up here. And we'll add a couple other bats over here. right, I'm happy with that. We've got the bats, we've got our skeletons. Let's go ahead and glue down our tree. Handy at the moment, so I'm winging it. This video was a little spontaneous today. Not really what I had planned on doing with my morning. That's okay. I needed some craft room time, and I am happy to be here with you guys. So, I'm going to just tap that down. For now, good enough. Okay, so the next step in this card is to layer it on this black panel. It's just going to be like a little frame around it. Now, I will tell you, if I was smart, I would have die cut some things out of the center of this panel before I glued all this down. But you know what? That's okay. For the sake of your time and mine, we're not going to bother with that today. But just a tip, if you like saving your product and getting the most out of it, that is one way you can do that, because it would totally be hidden. So here is our card base, and this is going to layer right on top. Now you could go flat, or you could pop it up with dimensionals. I am just going to go with a plain flat layer with no dimension. And just kind of center that up, glue it on. And there is our card. On the inside, I am just going to use a couple more of these paper pumpkin kit sets, or sentiments, I mean. This is from that same year, and I didn't take the time to look up which one it was. But it's going to say, Happy Halloween, eat something sweet. And I'm just going to see if I've got that. No, not quite straight. So I apologize. I am at the current moment working upside down for the camera, but I will get back to that here in a moment. So we've got Happy Halloween, eat something sweet. And now our panel will glue right on top of there. Oh, shit. That's funny. So I've got Boo on the front. I open it up. Happy Halloween. Eat something sweet. But you know what? All is not lost. We're going to restamp that sentiment where it belongs. Oh, it's going to be a day. We'll cover that up with something fun, cute. Maybe I'll put a little gift card for some sweets in there. Make sure I'm not completely losing my mind now. All right. Happy Halloween. Eat something sweet. Version number 2. There we go. Now, you know what? I'll just make a little pocket and put some sweet treats in it or something. But there is our card. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found the humor in it as well.